I read Prince of the Sorrows by Kellen Graves. It is a queer fantasy romance. It is the first book in the Roman Blood series, and it was my book club's first pick. And let me tell you something, this book was so fun. I'm not gonna lie, at first it took me a little bit to get used to the writing and to get to know this world, the world of Alfidel, with lots of magical creatures, high fae, and fairies. It is an enemies to lovers, and it follows the story of Saffron, a human, and the high fae Prince Cylvan. So we got Saffron. Saffron is a human that was taken into the fae world of Alfidel in an exchange known as a changeling, and he's basically a servant now. And the thing is that now it's time to turn him back into the human world, but he doesn't want to, because what awaits him in the human world, it's not great. His family basically gave him up to the Fae. So, he's pretty much willing to do anything to stay in Alfidel. So basically, Saffron, all he needs is an endorsement from some high Fae so that he can stay. And after a weird and hilarious encounter, he learns Prince Cylvan's true name. Because the thing about the Fae in this world is that you can compel them, which means control them and make them do whatever you want, if you know their true name. And listen, I'm trying to explain this the best of my capacity. I'm the worst at explaining fantasy books. So Saffron knows Prince Cylvan's true name, and at first Prince Cylvan was determined to silence Saffron violently, but Saffron convinces him and they come to an agreement that Prince Cylvan will give him the endorsement so that he can stay, and in return Saffron will help the prince to come up with a spell so that no one can use his true name against him. So they are going to spend a lot of time in the library looking through books, finding forbidden magic, getting the hots for each other, and falling in love. While also there is a wild wolf in the woods that is unaliving humans. To complicate things more. Look, that's basically the premise of the story. There's a lot of world building, there's a lot of character development, and a lot of banter. Hilarious banter. The way these two talk to each other is hilarious because Prince Cylvan is such a grump. He's so mean and rude, and Saffron is such a sunshine. He's such a sweetie, but he has guts too. And aside from the great world building, this world is so fascinating and so cool. The relationship between these two is the highlight of this story. Whenever they were getting into it, it was so fun. I couldn't get enough of them. The stakes felt pretty high, and I didn't trust anyone in this book. Not even Prince Cylvan, because sometimes I was like, this dude is shady. The world is pretty dark and grim, but it balances it all out with the humor and the romance. There's a little bit of steam. There is a spicy scene. One of the most beautiful spicy scenes I have read. The prose is beautiful. And it comes at the time when their story needed it. Because, this is a slow burn. So yeah, it is highly recommended. I can't wait to dive into the other books of this series. So if you're looking for a new queer fantasy romance, check out Prince of the Sorrows by Kellen Graves.